여러분 안녕, Ashley입니다. And today we are doing a reading for Stray Kids Jeongin. Um, let's get started, shall we? Ooh, okay. First card up is this festival card. This card is about starting to see the rewards for your efforts, right? Which is something we all enjoy. Can also be maybe needing to do a little bit more work before final form is reached, whether that's something he's working on or even if he's working on himself, you know. Ooh. This card also can indicate the closing of one door and the opening of another, so maybe he's evolving as an artist. I always like seeing things like that when artists start becoming more aware of themselves or working on themselves or trying to, what's the word? To be more in touch with themselves or to really show their audience who they are. I think that's really great. Ooh, the next one is another festival card. This one's basically Halloween. This is another card that's about the completion of a cycle. So maybe he is working on something that's coming to a close, right? Or he's finishing something up. Or, like I said, it could just be him moving on to the next phase of maturity in his life, right? He's growing as a person, entering a new cycle. But this card is about change, powerful change. So I really like seeing that, because I think it's good for people to change and grow. If you stay the same, it just gets stagnant and boring. And especially when you are a public figure that makes your money off of audience engagement, you kind of need to to grow and evolve and continue to be interesting. Ooh, okay, this next card. This is the Knocker card. This card is, they kind of remind me of, the dwarves from Snow White. Because they, if you look at when I show you it up close, they have lanterns and pickaxes and they're going into the mines, because this card is all about financial gain, material gain, and establishing a strong foundation. So I think maybe he's moving into the energy of building a strong foundation for himself to grow on. I like that. Because that's important, That's like I said, the cycle of maybe he's moving into a more mature phase where he's okay. And he's thinking more long term, sort of. I don't know his mindset. I don't follow him closely enough, but I think we all get there at some point. We're okay, we need to have something stable. And I like that. So he's maybe focusing on building himself up, Ooh, this next one. This top one. You'll see it up close. It's a cow. And this cow indicates a nurturing kind of love, like a parent has for their child. I don't know what sort of personality he has. This card is about comfort and support and emotional nourishment. And these could be things that he just receives from fans and he thrives with. It could be the way he looks at his music, or it could be the kind of person that he is, Either way, that's a good card to have. There's definitely emotional fulfillment and good happiness there, and comfort and support. I like that. Ooh, this next one. Robin Goodfellow is next. He is about new adventures, new experiences, having reasons to celebrate, and fun. I like that. I think he's moving into maybe a more mature energy where he's focusing on what's good for him and the person he wants to be. And he's also, is having new experiences, which is great. He's maybe having fun and trying new things and doing new things. Last one for this pile. Okay. Another festival card. This one is a harvest card. So it's another one about fruition and reward, success, recognition through hard work, and bounty. So I think these changes he's maybe implementing or thinking about, or even probably going to go through regardless if they're just like, you know, those standard growing up and becoming an adult type of changes. Good things are coming so far. Good things are ahead. I like that. What's the next one? Ooh, okay. Six of Coins is next. Six of Coins is about generosity and prosperity and balance. It's about giving and receiving much needed blessings. So, if he's working on something, or even if he's working on himself, maybe he is getting advice from people, or he's giving advice to people. It could even be the other members of Stray Kids, because he might be the one that you go to for like advice or to help you with something or whatever. Especially shared wealth, because he is in a group. I like that. Shared wealth is pretty good. Okay, Three of Swords in reverse is next. This is about optimism and acceptance, perseverance, becoming a better person, especially if you've faced any sort of like difficulties or whatever, if you've had roadblocks. And it's about like if you've been, which I think is typical for most people, maybe even if you don't realize it, like holding on to that a little bit. It's about moving away from that energy and not allowing any negativity to really bring you down. It's about focusing on the positive and moving forward. And I really like seeing that, because I think people on a whole, even the people who, you know, are very vocal about like positive vibes and positive, like I feel like those people are just trying to convince themselves. Because I think if you are positive, you don't need to say it all the time. Everybody holds on to a little bit of negativity, even if we're not aware of it. So the fact that he's maybe looking to, or moving away from that energy just naturally, anything that's been bothering him, that's really good. Next, oh yeah, the Sun is next. Happiness, success, optimism, positivity, fulfillment. Good things are in store. He's on the right path and making good choices, and I love to see it. Let's see what the next one is. Six of Cups. Okay, this is about playful, carefree energy, tapping into your inner child and maybe letting them out to play a little bit. Remembering to have fun and not worrying so much. So I wonder if maybe he's doing a lot of work and not enough self-care, which I think is, again, something that's very common for most people, but especially people in his field, because they tend to work a lot, like a lot, and it's not healthy. So hopefully he is remembering to have fun. We had the cards over here that were about like fun and adventure, and yeah, I like the Six of Cups. It's about not worrying so much. So maybe that's what the end of his cycle is. Maybe he's not worrying so much now, and he's moving away from that negative energy, and that's what it is. Maybe he's been worrying a lot about whatever work things, personal things, just existing itself is a worry. Yeah, maybe he's moving out of that and taking some time for himself, hopefully. Ooh, okay. The next card is the Knight of Cups. This is about following your heart. And invitations. Maybe he'll be asked to do something, work with somebody, be on like a show or something. But this card is about taking action. If there's something his heart wants him to do, now is the time to start taking steps towards that. It's a good time. It's a good time to, you know, if he wants to do something personally fulfilling, now might be a good time to start that. Even if he reaches out to somebody, he could be the one handing out invitations and be like asking people, hey, what do you think about doing this with me? You know? Last one for this pile. The Page of Coins. This is about sticking to goals and practicality. And kind of like that knocker card, that Snow White and the Dwarfs kind of card I was talking about. This is another one that symbolizes the value of material things or career things, and how to increase, you know, because it's a coin card. It's like how to increase your financial stability. This card is about being open to new opportunities, which, we have the Knight of Cups here. So invitations, be open to new opportunities. But also staying focused and grounded and like paying attention. Not just like picking things that seem like a good idea without weighing all of your options appropriately. And having a clear plan. You know, there is this path behind him. If you look in the close-up I showed you. There is a path here, and there's literally like nothing in the way. Like, you have a clear plan, you know what path you want to be on, you know how to do it. So yeah, maybe there is something he wants to do. He knows how to go about doing it. Could be something that just calls out his inner child and is just like something that's been so long with him and wanting to do. And maybe that'll keep him, maybe he won't like, you know, workaholic it like some of us tend to do. But let's see. Let's see what this one is. All right, Ace of Swords, clarity and sound decision making. I think that goes with what I said with the Page of Cups about, like, you know, if you have options, weigh your options. Don't just take the one that looks nice. Make sure you're making good choices. Also, opportunities, breakthroughs, being motivated without any kind of deviation. Like, you know what path you want to be on. Focus, you know, even like, right? It was this one. Focus. Yeah. Communication, too, also important with this. Being clear on your personal truth is also important. So maybe he is really, like, coming into his own, which is great. And, you know, not all of us get to get that moment, you know. Some of us spend forever trying to figure out who we are. Let's see what the next one is. Ooh. The King of Coins is next. This is about being enterprising, and it's about security and stability, and again, groundedness. Yeah, maybe he needs to make sure that, you know, because this happens to me. You get an idea and you have like 5 different, it's like one idea, and then from that idea you get like 5 other things and you don't know which direction to go at once, so you kind of do all of them. If he's that kind of person, he's gonna have to kind of bring it in, rein it in a little bit. And I say that as somebody who has a difficult time doing that, so what I end up doing is none of it, because that can get overwhelming. But yeah, the King is another card that indicates positivity and abundance in all areas and a positive outcome. Enterprising. I think maybe since we had that building a strong foundation, maybe he is working on himself, or I don't know if he does solo stuff or he's thought about doing solo stuff. I mean, it could also just be like he's working on stuff for the group. I also don't know if he writes any of their music or anything. I just listen to their music. I don't know specifics about Stray Kids. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, okay. The next is the Ten of Wands. This is about overextending and hard work. Maybe working a little too hard. And we had that 6 of Cups. Okay. Yeah, this card, anything in excess is not healthy. So I think maybe whatever it is that he's doing, even if it's just like personal, um, should maybe watch out that he's not overworking himself or, um, getting hyper focused and not taking care of himself, which again, something is very common in his industry. Um, Ten of Wands, take a look at where your time and energy is being focused. Self-care is also important. So maybe that's why he's getting these cards about fun. Maybe he has a tendency to overwork himself or get too focused and then not take care of himself, as you do, you know. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, okay. This is Jupiter in reverse. In a like more traditional deck like this one, he's the Pope or the Hierophant. But in reverse, this card is about freedom, personal beliefs and expression, openness, feeling the need maybe to bend existing rules or try something different or doing something a different way than what is standard or typical. But it's also about wanting to explore beyond what you already know and what's been taught to you, right? So if you're taught how to do something one way and you have this idea, well, why can't I do it this way? Try it. If it don't work, it don't work. But maybe it does, and maybe it's better. So he could be having one of those moments where like, well, you know what? What if I just change this a little bit? Let's see what happens, right? Some experimental energy. But this card's also about trusting your inner strength and seeing things from a new perspective, and sometimes that's all you need is just look at something a little differently and like there's a spark of inspiration or something becomes like so clear to you. You're like, oh wow, yeah, okay. Especially if you've like been stuck or whatever. But let's see if I can pick it up, what the next one is. Ooh, okay. Temperance. This is another card about moderation and balance. Taking a look at your life and seeing if there are areas that need balance. I think maybe he's prone to maybe being work focused and not so much self focused. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe he could be working on something, but maybe he's also like taking more time for himself, which is always good, especially when you have a job like his that I think is very like demanding and you work yourself a lot physically and mentally and emotionally because you're on social media and shit as part of your job. And that can just be a lot sometimes. But yeah, let's see what this last one is. Oh, the Hanged Man is last. This is one about maybe pausing to reflect or even personal development. And again, seeing things from a new perspective. So maybe he's growing and maturing as a person and thus he's seeing things a little bit differently, because we all see the world differently now than when we did when we were like 10, right? So he could just be in that energy where he's finding himself and establishing himself as a person, as an artist. All right, I think this is pretty good. I think he's got some pretty good things going for him. Maybe some new experiences, some new adventures. Even the Temperance card is about cooperating with other people. So maybe he's, wanting to work with other people or bounce ideas off of people, whether it's like other guys in the group or other artists, producers, whatever. But yeah, I think he's maybe coming into the energy of figuring out what it is that makes him happy and fulfilled. And that's always great. That's something I think everybody should experience, but not everybody gets that opportunity. Anyway, that's it for Jeongin's reading. I hope you liked it. If you did, please do all the obligatory YouTube things. If there's any other content you want to see from me, whether it's K-pop, tarot, or something totally different, let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My names are in the description box, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.